All right, welcome everybody. It is David Thomas, Mr. J. Woolwine with me as always, back at it to give you your Tuesday dose at 4 p.m. Eastern of motivation, inspiration, and education. So, as you guys know, we jump on here every week around that time to share some hopefully valuable wisdom for you. I know we get value out of applying these to our own lives and also, just sharing it. They say the best way to learn something is to teach, right? So, the more we teach personal development and ways to become a better version of yourself, the better version we become as well. So you can apply this obviously to trading. Trading has a lot of personal development that you'll learn, gives you, but sometimes it's just you can apply it to other areas of your life as well. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. All right. And this one is a big one. This is one of life's biggest assets, in our opinion. All right. And this is the skill of adapting, the skill of adaptation. One thing life keeps teaching me is over and over again is the power of adapting to change. I used to resist it. I used to fight it. I used to hate it. I wanted things to stay the same. I wanted them to feel comfortable, predictable, safe. But the more I've grown and the more I've experienced through pushing through barriers, overcoming obstacles, the more I realize that change is actually where your growth happens, where life happens. It's in those uncomfortable, uncertain moments that you get stretched and shaped. You kind of there's kind of that cliche, you find out who you really are. And the people who thrive, those are the ones who embrace it instead of fighting it, right? They don't just survive transitions, they grow through them.
Absolutely. And I used to look at change as something to be afraid of, right? I built the stability, worked so hard to build the stability, and then it's getting disrupted, right? But now I see it as it's just something that's necessary, right? It's even valuable, right? Life doesn't stand still, as Ferris Bueller would say,
Right.
something like that. Life moves fast. Something I can't remember exactly what the line is, but neither should we, right? Whether it's in your relationships or career paths or even the way that you view yourself, right? Nothing is meant to stay stagnant. Adapting means being open, right? Being flexible and humble enough to learn. And it doesn't mean that we lose who we are, but it means that we can become more of who we're meant to be.
Exactly. I think one of the biggest shifts for me was realizing that change doesn't always announce itself with this big warning, right? Or it just shows up. It could be a phone call, could be a diagnosis, a moment that you didn't see coming, and it's that sledgehammer. And if you're not ready to bend, you'll break. Yeah, but if you accept the change, okay, this is part of the journey, it's actually something empowering to you. It becomes a teacher. That meaningful growth in my life has come from the seasons of the biggest disruption, right, or transitions. I didn't ask for them, but they ended up being needed and being an opportunity for that growth.
Yeah, I hear that. I think sometimes people confuse comfort with happiness, right? But they're not the same thing, right? You can be comfortable and completely unfulfilled, right? Real joy comes when you've been tested, right? You've walked through that change that scared you, that stretched you, and showed you what you're made of, right? When you can adapt, you discover new parts of yourself, right? Strengths that you didn't know that you had, clarity that you didn't know you needed, right? And it's not always easy, right? But it's always worth it. Change keeps life real, right? It keeps us grounded, it keeps us human.
Absolutely. And let's be honest, right? Resisting change is exhausting. Trying to keep things the same when everything around you doesn't want to stay the same, it's just evolving. That's a losing battle. It's like trying to hold back the tide. It's impossible. Life moves, people move. And when we choose to move with it instead of clinging to the past or, digging our heels in the sand, we open ourselves up to experiences that shape our purpose, right? Adapting means letting go of what you thought were those values you were holding so dear, and it's learning how to live with them. Not letting go of those values. I mean, it's learning to live with them in the new experience is what I should say. right? So you still have your values, obviously. You still have you still have your personality. But those creature comforts is kind of what I'm talking about that you might have to let go of, but you learn to live with yourself in the new seasons and you actually can become a better person. A new understanding, new courage, new change, and new opportunities.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, adapting to that change is not about becoming someone else, right? It's about becoming who you were always meant to be, right? Change strips away what no longer serves you, and it helps clarify, it helps refine. And when we meet it with curiosity instead of fear, right, we can turn what could have been an obstacle into an opportunity, right? And life's going to keep changing whether we like it or not, right? The real question is, will we let it make us better, or will we let it make us bitter?
Yep, absolutely. So hopefully you got value out of this and really apply it because change is always happening. You know, they say the only constant in life is change. So it's coming whether you like it or not. The learning to be able to adapt to it and grow through it is going to be the best asset that you can have. So hope you get value. God bless, and we will see you back next week. Take care.